Football isn't just for me and you. It's also for millionaires who probably think VAR is a type of wine. Yes, even celebrities get stuck into the beautiful game. Here is one celebrity fan for every Premier League club. Up first, Arsenal. Idris Elba isn't just a suave actor, DJ, an all-around cool guy. He's also a die-hard Arsenal fan with a heart as big as the Emirates Stadium. Born in Hackney, East London, Elba has proudly supported the Gunners for decades, even declaring online, "I'm a Gooner bruv." Of course, Aston Villa had to do one better. Prince William said he picked Aston Villa as a teenager. In his own words, he said, "I wanted to have a team that was more mid-table, that could give me more emotional roller coaster moments." He's president of the FA, so he has to stay neutral, except when Villa scores. Then all neutrality is thrown into the Thames. Let's be honest, if Villa ever win the league, the national holiday will probably be called Will's Wednesday. Bournemouth isn't exactly a big town, so it's slim pickings, unfortunately. Alex James from Blur once said he was a Cherries fan once on Soccer AM, so we'll give it him. Dean Gaffney, best known for his role as Robbie Jackson in EastEnders, is a devoted Brentford FC supporter. Raised in West London, Gaffney began attending Brentford matches in the early 1990s and has remained a passionate fan ever since. In a twist of fate, Gaffney was once involved in an accident where he was struck by a Lamborghini driven by Chelsea footballer Wesley Fofana. The incident left him with a broken collarbone, and he later joked about being taken out by a player from a rival club. One name comes to mind when you think of a famous Brighton fan, Fat Boy Slim. Born in Bromley but a longtime Brighton resident, he's been spotted at the Amex more times than a seagull eyeing your chips on Brighton Pier. When Brighton got promoted to the Premier League in 2017, Slim basically turned the city into one big rave. You might know Jeremy Clarkson as the loud, sarcastic man who once tried to turn a car into a boat on Top Gear. But what you may not know is that the man who loves horsepower also has a soft spot for Stamford Bridge. Supporting Chelsea and owning a V8-powered combine harvester both require a taste for chaos, drama, and expensive rebuilds. Clarkson is definitely that fan who boos the referee for making a bad decision, then calling him a ham-fisted cockwomble. Bill Nye, the Love Actually star, is patron of the CPFRIA, Crystal Palace FC Fast Results and Information Service, Disabled Children's Club, and one Christmas, he addressed the Palace faithful, speaking of his pride to be an Eagle. Former professional boxer Tony Bellew stated at Goodison Park, "My home away from home, this club is my life. I love Everton Football Club with all that I've got." Fulham have a surprisingly famous fan base, including another Love Actually star, Hugh Grant. Long before he became a Hollywood star, Grant was a local lad from Hammersmith, even working as an assistant groundsman at Craven Cottage in the early 1980s. Ed Sheeran's devotion to Ipswich Town Football Club is as heartfelt as his ballads and as catchy as his chart toppers. Raised in Suffolk, just a stone's throw from Portman Road, Sheeran has been a lifelong fan of the Tractor Boys. In 2021, Sheeran took his support to the next level by becoming the shirt sponsor for both the men's and women's first teams. The shirts featured symbols from his album titles, the multiplication above the word tour, blending his musical journey with his football passion. Stating the obvious here, but Gary Lineker literally grew up next to the old Filbert Street Stadium, which explains two things. One, it's why he supports them passionately, and two, his first words were probably "up the Foxes." He must love them if he promised to present Match of the Day in his underpants if Leicester won the league, which they did, and he actually followed through. Fair play. Daniel Craig, or should I say James Bond, is a massive Liverpool fan. He grew up idolizing the likes of Kevin Keegan and Kenny Dalglish. He's been spotted at Anfield rocking his shades like he's about to interrogate the fourth official. Former boxer Ricky Hatton's association with Man City has been closer than any other. Blue Moon rang out before his fights. The highlight of his career came at the Etihad Stadium, and the club's motto is tattooed across his back for all to see when he was knocking out foes in the ring. You thought you were safe from a Rickroll, didn't you? Well, guess what? Rick Astley is a massive Manchester United fan, and just like his biggest hit, he's never gonna give them up, never gonna let them down, even if they finish 15th. Moving swiftly onto Newcastle United. Gotcha, sorry I had to. The iconic lead singer of AC/DC is a lifelong Newcastle United supporter. Born in Dunston, Gateshead in 1947, Brian was raised a Geordie, fed on brown ale, cold weather, and footballing heartbreak. Supporting Newcastle for decades? That's the real definition of highway to hell, especially when Mike Ashley owned the club. England's Ashes hero is a massive Forest fan. Born in Nottingham in 1986, Stuart Broad during the Ashes once snuck off during a rain delay to check the Forest score. That's dedication. He bleeds red. Nottingham Forest red. Craig David is a proper Saints fan, not just one of those celebrity Premier League pick and mix types. He's proud of his roots and never forgets where he came from. Just ask him. He'll probably say, I met this girl on Monday, took her to St. Mary's on Tuesday. We were chanting, "Come on you Reds" by Sunday. Adele is a lifelong Spurs fan. And let's be honest, if Spurs ever do win a trophy, Adele will absolutely be the one singing at the parade. But until then, she'll be rolling in the deep. Before he was carpooling with Adele or belting out show tunes with Paul McCartney, James Corden was doing something much more emotional, supporting West Ham United. He's that much of a Hammers fan, he even managed to slip his West Ham obsession into his hit sitcom Gavin and Stacey, where his character Smitty proudly wears the claret and blue. You might know Noddy Holder as the guy who shouts, "It's Christmas" every December. He's spoken about his love for Wolverhampton in interviews, admitting he used to sneak off from gigs or rehearsals to catch the scores. Imagine that. You're backstage in the 70s tuning a guitar and Noddy's yelling, "Oi, what's the Wolf score?" Priorities. Respect.